Hello everyone, this is Leah Dixon in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am back for a second video today. This one is one that I look forward to every month. It is our Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription box that gets mailed to my doorstep every month. And in it is always kind of a surprise, but you know you're going to get a stamp set, an ink pad, like just a little spot, all of your adhesives, embellishments, card bases, envelopes, everything you need to create some kind of card, usually a card project. If it's not going to be a card project, Stampin' Up's really good about letting us know it's going to be treat packaging or something like that. And usually they provide things that can be modified to create cards if that's what you'd really like to do. So this month we have our Here's to You Paper Pumpkin. I'm just going to switch my screen over and let you guys take a look at my desktop. So let's see here. I'm going to replace my pin there. I'm also going to close up this window. There we have it. All right. So, and I'm going to pop a comment here in the box. I can see that there are a few people on, so if you want to say hi, I should be able to see your comments. So this is the gorgeous sunshiny box that we have this month for our March Paper Pumpkin. This one I had to wait quite a while for. Shipping's still not quite back on track. So this is my first opening of the box. I did see another demonstrator's video. I just saw the beginning of it, so I do know a few things that are in here. So this is basically a little sample project kit of what you can do with the stencils that come in this box. And here we have our kind of like special gift of the month. It is this sponge. And so I will tell you, when I get these sponges, you can order these in 3-packs. I actually do cut them into 6 pieces. You can get a little bit of a better hold on them, and then you have it available for more colors. Oh, hi, Marianne. Oh, you're going to do them together. That's awesome, Marianne. I know I always get 2, and sometimes I'll keep them and do them with, I have a friend and her daughters like to stamp, so I'll keep them and give them to them or do them with them. But yeah, this one, I actually do have an extra one. They've got enough crafting stuff going on in their house right now. They don't need this one. All right, and then let's just take a quick look at these stencils. This is kind of the thing I've been waiting for. I love using stencils. So we've got these gorgeous stars. This is the one I've been especially waiting for, the sunburst. Anything with a sunburst I love. We have a gorgeous mountainscape, and it looks like, you know, with reflection and everything we can get in there. That's awesome. And clouds. And I adore the clouds because there's ways you can cheat and make clouds using like scallop circles and stuff and moving them around, but to be able to create these clouds just so quickly and easily is going to be such a treat. So lots of fun. You can guarantee you'll be seeing cards being made with those stencils on my Facebook page this coming up month. All right, then we have this awesome stamp set. It's got some nice sentiments in here, as well as the beautiful wildflowers and the trees. So those will be great as well. I'm sure we'll be opening those up to stamp today on today's cards. Our Stampin' Spot is Calypso Coral. Kind of nice, a bright, fun one. So I'm just going to grab my Calypso Coral off of my desk here. So I'm going to bring that out to stamp with. And then let's see what we've actually got going on in here. Lift that up. I'm just going to move my box out of the way. Let's take a look at what we have. Okay. Right, there we go. So these I always find I do need scissors to open them up. They just don't open up very easily all on their own. All right. You know, when they first started packaging these in plastic, I wasn't too happy. But since then, I've actually received some boxes where the postal service was not too kind to them, neither was the weather, and so the only reason my stuff inside the box wasn't ruined is because it was wrapped in plastic, so now I'm quite thankful for it. All right, so we have some mini dimensionals, some linen thread, which is awesome because I am down to the last little bits on the roll of linen thread that I have here in my office. I do have some ordered, but it hasn't arrived. So this is new. So I'm always such a fan of their envelopes. And these envelopes are really rustic. Like there's little spots and stuff in them. Like this is truly kind of like rustic paper. It's not a smooth finish or anything. And they've given us the inserts separately. Now, I actually wonder if that's because they've seen so many demonstrators open up their envelopes and cut them up to use the fancy patterns on the inside. So now they're giving us the opportunity to decorate the inside of our envelopes ourselves. So the way you would do this is you'd actually just put a little bit of liquid glue on the back, insert that, press it down, and now you've got your lined envelope. And it's short enough that the adhesive is still not covered so you can close up your envelope. However, if you want to use this as some fun background papers on some other cards, it's thin, single-sided, like designer series paper thickness, and then you've still got your envelopes. You don't have to open them up and ruin them to be able to use that designer series paper. So really smart thinking, Stampin' Up. I'm so happy to see that. All right, the liners that we have here for our envelopes are gorgeous too. This, I absolutely love this. I'm not sure, but the colors in that just really appeal to me. So there we have it. Those are our liners, so I'm going to set those aside for right now. Now we've got some card bases here. So these are all the same. They're a nice little mountain scene already done for us on the card. And then what I love is these cards are white on the inside. So nice. So I'm going to grab one of these and keep this out. It looks like there's something black on my card. I'm just actually going to grab a white eraser and see if I can erase that because I'm not sure what it is that's marked on my card. That's strange. And it's not coming off, so hopefully this is something that will get covered up with whatever we do to our card, or I'm going to have to make it something that gets covered up. Strange. Okay, let's keep moving along. So, oh wow, we've got more of that beautiful flower meadow with the water in the background and the clouds. Gorgeous. So nice background. We've got some labels here for stamping our sentiments. And some more fun pieces, all, done up in different colors and with some patterns and stuff. So we'll see what those are for. And then we have a pretty peacock, just straight up pretty peacock on one side, white on the other side, card base. All right. So that's going to be our second card. We have these beautiful cutouts of the trees. Oh, wow. These are fabulous. So these look like they're a little bit delicate to pull out. I'm just going to grab one right now while we've got it here. And I'm guessing we are only going to need one because there's only 8 here in the pack. All right. You'll see, I do eventually get around to looking at the instructions, but I'm really not one for following the instructions when making the paper pumpkins. I kind of look at the picture and take my best guess. All right, so we've got one of those pulled out. And there's our backing for that. We've got some mini glue dots to use on this project. All right, now they've got some alternatives already. Oh, neat, making some packaging out of the envelopes, using 2 of them together to create like a little box. These are gorgeous. Oh, good, and I am going to get to cover up that spot where I had a little bit of something on my card. Okay, so I'm actually going to just set my instructions off to the side because that's how I roll. And I'm going to grab our first card here. So it looks like we're going to start with this base, and we're actually going to get to use all of these fun pieces on this card. So we're really going to do a lot of layers on here and have some fun. So we get to create 4 of each of the cards. There's 2 designs, and we create 4 of each. So I'm going to pop out 1 of each of those for this card and set the rest to the side for now. And there we go. And then we're going to do one of our sentiments, and it looks like we're going to use a larger sentiment on here and stamped in the Calypso Coral. This is such a nice color combo. Wow. All right, so we do have some choices. We could put happy birthday on that, but I think it's going to be a little small. So we're going to do the here's to you, which I really like, because then you can make this card a congratulations card, a happy birthday card. Like, really, it's just like saying like, hey, you're awesome. It could even just be a hey, you're awesome card. I am going to put this on my paper pumpkin block. Now, when I put sentiments like this on, I do tend to put them kind of higher up on my block so that I can hold on to it, still see them to line them up and all of that. So I'm going to move all those card bits off to the side. I'm going to bring in my sentiment. Now, this may seem strange to some of you, but I actually find it easier to stamp sentiments vertically when I'm trying to fit them onto a little label. So I'm going to ink up my stamp here. I'm actually going to just give it a little test over here. Sometimes, yeah, this one has it. Sometimes these brand new stamps have a little bit of a film on them. So inking them up, rubbing them off, and then inking them up again, much better. All right. So when I do this one, I'm going to come in here. I like to do this vertically to get it lined up. And there we go. So here's to you. Now, I'm actually just going to move that card bit out of the way so that we're just working on one at a time here. Now, the rest of this card is pretty much just layering this on and using our mini dimensionals. So now I already have a sheet of mini dimensionals going, so I'm going to just grab those and use those ones instead. So here we are. We're going to pop, I'm just going to do, well, maybe for this bigger one, I'm going to do 3. One in the center, one on each end. And I'm going to peel these off. Oh, they're sticking to me now. Oh no. Okay. So peel those off. I'm going to lay this one out at the top just to get a sense of like spacing and everything. So this yellow one I'm going to put offset so it's not even lined up with this square, so it's going further over on my card. And then this light Calypso Coral one I'm going to do so that it's a little bit over to the left. All right. So there we go. One more. And that's perfect because it's going to cover up that little spot. So now I'm not going to go all the way over though. Again, I don't want to line it up with the edge of my square. I wanted them to all be kind of at different angles, different staggering. All right, now this piece is a little bit more delicate. I could use dimensionals on this, or I could use mini glue dots. I think I'm actually going to use mini glue dots because I don't want to give too many layers here. I'm going to be adding in a sentiment and that green bar as well. So I think this one, there's enough of a contrast with the color. We're going to come in and just use the mini glue dots. Now, by all means, if you want more layers to your card or you want it popped up, go ahead and use your mini dimensionals. You've got a ton of them. You're not going to run out making these cards. So, and I'm going to be quite liberal here with my mini glue dots. I'm going to put one at the back of every tree, 2 maybe on this tall one. There we go. 2 on this one as well. And then a bunch on the base here. Okay, so lots of glue dots to stick this down. The other thing you could do is if you've got liquid glue, you could just run liquid glue over that. And I don't know, it probably be faster, might be messier. This is going to make sure that we don't have any liquidy mess, especially near some of these thinner spots. All right, so now we just have to go through and peel all these backings off. There we go, just about done. One more. So when we put this down, we're going to have to be quite careful, especially if that little tree, his trunk is so thin that he's already just trying to bend and twist in his own way. So we're going to want to make sure that when he goes down where we want him. Oh, and I lost one here on my tree. There we go. Now that's just a backing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to line this up in the corner. Line that up along the base. And then when I'm sure I have it where I want it, I'm going to push that down, and then I'm going to make sure that these trees go down where I want them. All right, that is so beautiful. Okay, and now our last bit to add on here is this little green bit. I'm going to do that with some mini dimensionals. So I do really like the paper pumpkins because you can change them up in so many ways, but they're also just really nice projects to put together for a nice, relaxing kind of build at night with your paper pumpkin. And I am so looking forward to using the stencils. All right, here we go. So I am going to put this one down just a little bit over. All right. This stripe idea is really appealing to me right now as well because I'm still in my scrappy phase where I'm using up all the little scraps off my desk. So I'm actually not going to open up that linen thread. I'm going to come in here and grab some of mine out of my jar, and I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times and then snip this off. So I've just made like a really loose circle, kind of rustic, almost like a lasso or something. And I am going to attach this to my card front, and I'm going to do that just with like a mini glue dot. Okay, you could use a mini glue dot. You could even use a piece of tape if you wanted, but a mini glue dot's going to do just fine. Maybe two. And I'm going to put this back where I want my sentiment to be covering it up. So my sentiment's going to come in and around this area. Maybe that's a little too, oh no, that'll be perfect. Yeah, so that's exactly where I want my sentiment. So that's where I'm going to put those, and I'm going to use them to hold down my twine here. There we go. And I guess I didn't need that one. Well, not in that spot at least. I'll move that over a bit. I'm not sure if it'll stick now that it's been on my fingers. Maybe not. Okay, one is good. That's just going to hold our twine in place, and then the rest of it's actually going to get held in place by us putting our sentiment over top of it. So we just want those bits of twine to kind of stick out top and bottom. And so then we're going to come in like this. And here's to you. And that is our finished card. So that is just gorgeous. I cannot get over this set. Maybe because I absolutely adore mountains and trees and water. I work up at SFU, and it's just truly like the most beautiful place to work. I think that's going to have to go to my teaching, well, not my teaching partner, but the teacher, my other cohort teacher. She is as much of a mountain fanatic as I am, maybe more so. All right, so here we are. Our next card is really quick and simple. We're going to take our background here. We're going to attach it to our card front, stamp in some birds, stamp in some sentiments, and we're done. I'm just going to take a quick look at the picture. Well, it looks like they wrapped some twine around as well, but I actually saw something so cool that I want to try instead of wrapping the twine. So they've wrapped twine around this border between the water and the land. But what I actually saw was somebody took, here we go. I wasn't going to do an alternative in my unboxing video, but I just feel like I have to. I saw somebody took this outline from the trees and brought it in here and sponged this onto their card. Okay, so we're actually going to bring that in right along that water's edge. And I'm going to grab my sponge that they just sent for me. I'm going to show you guys how to cut this one up. Okay, so I talked about how I would cut it up to have better coverage. So I'm going to snip it, and then I'm going to snip this into 3. Okay, so you get the idea, and I'll do the same to the other half when I need it. And now I actually have little wedges to hold onto and much easier to work with. And I'm actually going to grab my Pretty Peacock. So now if you do not have Pretty Peacock, this color is retiring. It is one of our 2019, 2020 to 2021 colors, and it is going away. All right, so to do this, I'm going to grab my sponge, rub it on my ink, and you'll see I'm getting some nice color on there. So now I'm going to be able to work with that to sponge in these trees. So now I'm actually going to sponge them just a little bit over so that when I put down one of my happy birthdays, it's actually going to cover up. And then I'm going to come in here, and the edges of this are quite delicate, so you are going to want to be careful about where you're sponging and how hard you're sponging so that you get those edges. We're going to come in here and sponge those treetops. Hopefully you guys can see this. Not a ton to see just yet. Oops. So you want to be really, this is really kind of tricky to make sure you're holding down all the bits as you sponge. And we're going to come in and keep sponging. We want this to get fairly dark where we're doing this. Okay. And then coming down again like this. So for this one, I may actually want to do more of an up and down, because as I get to where that tree piece is, it's actually wanting to move quite a bit on me. So just doing an up and down dabbing motion will keep that more in place. All right, and then, oh my, I have a very blue thumb. We're going to move that out of the way, and you can see we've just got those really nice trees in the background there. Now I have a ton of Pretty Peacock on my thumb. I apparently squished it down into that ink pad. So I'm actually just going to grab my chamois, and it's not going to actually remove all the color from my finger. I'm still going to have a blue thumb, but it will remove the color in terms of like what might come off of my hand and onto my project. All right, so sponging can be a little bit messy. I think that's why some people opt for the blending brushes. There we go. A little cleaner. So we've got those beautiful trees in there. Now we're going to get 3 of our sentiment bars, and we are going to stamp on all 3 of them a little happy birthday. And so I'll bring back the Calypso Coral. So Calypso Coral is the color that came with our paper pumpkin kit. And let's see in here. Oh, we've also got a congratulations, but I'm going to need some birthday cards, so we're going to do happy birthday. I always need birthday cards. There we go. All right. So again, I'm going to do these vertically. I find it way easier. And I am going to also do, this one's smaller, so I find there's less issues with the small ones. But yeah, there we go. All right. So stamp one of my happy birthdays. And my next one. There. And one more. Such a cute idea to do the triple happy birthday. All right, so there we have it. We've got our stamping done. This is a really tiny stamp. It's a beautiful happy birthday. It's so tiny though, I'm not even sure you guys can truly see it. So if I bring it up to you guys, yeah, there you go. So really, really sweet happy birthday. And now these guys are going to get attached with dimensionals. I'm going to do my first one right there at that, like to cover up the layer where the land meets the water. My next one just a little bit above, and my last one down here where the flowers meet. I don't know, is that sand or whatever it is? And so I'm going to do those right there. And I think I actually am going to incorporate the twine just like they did. But now that I've done that sponging, it's just nice to have a little bit of the extra. Actually, I wonder if I do all of this a little bit lower so that that one little tree can be visible. If I put them all down quite low. I think I actually like that better, and then we'll do our twine. But we'll see about the placement of those once we get our twine. So they've just wrapped it twice, not done a bow or anything. I am always such a huge fan of doing a little bow. So I'm going to take just a little bit off to the side so that I can tie a bow when we're done. And I'm going to wrap this around once and twice, and then a little bit extra to be able to tie that bow. There we go, snip that. Oops, let's move those out of the way. There we go. So we'll bring this back over. Now I like to tie this so that the bow is kind of off to the right, and we want to make sure that we're getting our thread nice and tight. So coming in here, and sometimes when it crosses over, it kind of binds on the back, and then you actually can't pull your strings as tight as you'd like. There we go. It was caught up on it on the back. All right, so now loop this around, tie a knot. Once I've got my knot on there, now I can take the time to kind of position this where I want it. So I do want it quite a bit lower. I want that bow to end up in our flower field. Okay, I'm going to do 2 bunny ears, wrap them around each other. Come on, wrap them around, pull it through. There we have it. Okay. And there's our bow. So now we can kind of twist and pull those until we get them the size that we want them and hanging the right way. And I'm not even going to trim those. Those are just perfect. All right, now our happy birthdays, we're going to grab our mini dimensionals. I'm just going to put 2 on the back of each. 2 should be more than enough. And go. And again. All right, now when I put these on, I want to make sure that I'm kind of evenly spacing them and covering up the things I want covered up. Like there, I think that's perfect. The trees and the happy birthday are just fine. So I'm actually going to put this a little bit below so that I don't have to worry about my dimensionals on that string. And then my other one will go a little bit above. And that's going to do that covering up where my trees meet the land and the water. And then I'll do one down a little bit lower. Come on, there we go. All right, so we have all of that, and then you can use dimensionals to attach this, mini glue dots, or for me, I just like the Quick and Easy liquid glue. But if you don't have the liquid glue, use what they've provided in the kit, which is either the dimensionals or the mini glue dots. Both are going to hold this onto your card front. There you go. Just give that a good little rub. If you've used the mini glue dots, it'll stick faster. You won't have to kind of hold it down. Those mini glue dots will just grab right away. Same with the dimensionals. All right. So that card actually would have been really quick and easy if I hadn't stopped to do that sponging and show you guys how to use even the extra bit. So that wasn't even one of our stencils, actually. That was the leftover bits from where we popped out the trees from this card. You could also just grab one of these and use it on this card front and add in the layer of trees without stenciling. So we've got lots of options here with the pieces that they've provided us and that sponge and everything. So lots of great stuff happening. These are two really, really sweet cards, and then the lovely envelopes. I can't wait to play with these and, you know, try out other things and show you guys some alternatives this week. So let's just pop over here and I'm going to switch that. Place pin. There we go. All right. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the paper pumpkin. If you have yours, I'd love to see you post your finished product, any alternative cards that you've done. And if you don't have one, I do have one. I can ship it within Canada. It's $30 plus shipping, or if you can pick it up from my doorstep here in Poco, then it's just straight $30. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Don't forget, tomorrow morning is the last day of my Stampin' the Rainbow extravaganza. We're going to be finishing off our week of rainbow cards by creating a gold greeting card gift box to put them all into. So I'd love to have you join me for that. We're going to have a special prize draw. I still have my ordering special and all of that going on. And if you want to get next month's paper pumpkin, that is all sorts of sweet treats and shaped cards, there's a link to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin delivered to your door for April. All right, bye.